Making soil. Step 1, get your brick of coconut coir. Step 2, add water. Step 3, find something else to do while you wait for the coconut coir to soak up all that water. Alright, so while the coir is soaking, I'm going to be pricking out these broccoli plants, putting them into this tray. Do I need this many broccoli plants? No. Am I going to start them anyway and think that I have friends to give them to later? Yes. Do I have friends to give them to later? No. Because even when you offer people plants, they say, no thank you, and then they go and buy plants at the big box store anyway, and those plants from the big box store die on them, and then they think they don't have a green thumb, which is wrong. They just bought the wrong dang variety instead of taking the good variety from their friend Kara. Anyway, let's go ahead and step these plants out. Alright, they are all pricked out, as you can see here, and I still have so many left. And if you're thinking, well, I wanted to see how you pricked them out, Kara, well, you need to tell me that in the comments so I can do a video where I show you how I pricked them out. But I can at least show you, this is my tool for pricking them out. It's a chopstick. It's my secret. But if you want to see the whole process, you need to put a comment, maybe hit the like button, because y'all are just lurking on my videos and not telling me what you want to see. Okay, back to our coir. Now that we let it sit, you can see that's a lot more material in this tub now. Beautiful, loose, airy coconut coir. This is a great alternative to peat, because remember, peat is not great for the environment. They are destroying thousands of years old peat bogs to get the peat for your pots. And honestly, that soil blend made from peat is garbage anyway. This stuff is great. Very absorbent. It doesn't get super hydrophobic like the peat soil does. Now the one problem is I've got this little piece that didn't absorb the water here, so I'm going to reserve that for later and I'll soak it by itself in a bucket. But this piece, yeah, I don't want to add more water to this because the rest of this will get too waterlogged, so I'm going to put this piece away in a bucket for later to soak, and we're going to get the other materials now. Alright, so here's our 3 parts of making my own homemade soil blend that you just saw me using to prick plants into. So it's perlite, compost, and this one I get from our local county division of solid waste, and it's the best compost I've ever found, and it's $3 for a bag. You can see what's in it right there. It's great, it's beautiful, we love it, we don't want to use anything else. And then my coconut coir. And you can order blocks of coconut coir online. I found them from Amazon, Home Depot, Walmart, you name it. Alright, we've got our ingredients in the tub for our soil blend. We're ready to mix. You can see a nice little Neapolitan blend going here. About 1/3 of each, 1/3 coir, 1/3 compost, 1/3 perlite. You can adjust it as you see fit, and it's very rough estimate. I eyeball it. And now I'm going to mix it with my pitchfork. I just want to warn you, when you're working with perlite, it's super dusty, so cover your mouth like this. Make sure you keep covered so you don't get that in your lungs. Alright, stirring it up. Alright, and after a few minutes of stirring with the pitchfork, this is what we have. This is my homemade peat-free soil blend. You can see there's still some clumps of the compost, and I'll just go through and break that up with my hand, if I can. And now, if you were paying attention to this and you're saying, okay, you're not using peat because you're trying to be good for the environment, but what about the perlite you're using, Kara? Isn't that a mined material? You're right. You're absolutely right. It is a mined material, and I don't know a good alternative for perlite at this point. If somebody knows a good, more eco-friendly, more earth-conscious, climate-friendly material to be used in place of the perlite for airiness and keeping the soil from getting too waterlogged, please tell me. I'm happy to know. Put it in the comments. Let's have a discussion on that. Absolutely. Because I would love to get away from my materials. The coconut coir is, of course, a reusable material, or not reusable. It's a renewable material. It is a byproduct of the coconut industry. So that is pretty eco-friendly compared to peat anyway, for sure. I know it's maybe probably coming from another part of the world, but what are you going to do? And then the compost, of course, that's obviously a renewable, earth-friendly material. It's just the perlite we got to figure out an alternative for. So I'm happy to have that discussion please post in the comments. Because yeah, we want to be as environmentally conscious as we can as gardeners. We don't want to do things that we don't want to be having more harm on the environment than we need to be for our hobbies. So yeah, let's have a discussion in the comments. Drop your thoughts on it. If anybody has data on perlite versus, for example, vermiculite, or better materials to replace them, something that's not harmful to the environment, that's not a mine material, that's renewable, let me know. Let's have that discussion for sure. But in the meantime, this is my soil blend. And if you have a cement mixer, that'd be even better for mixing this up than a pitchfork. But for now, the pitchfork is a really good workout. And again, I'm not trying to get people to spend more money than they need to on their gardening hobby. So as cheaply as possible. Here you can see some of my bell pepper transplants that have been growing in that homegrown soil blend now for just a few weeks in this transplant tray, and they look amazing. Amazing growth on there, and the roots still aren't out the bottom, so they're still not struggling. They're still getting plenty of nutrition from the soil. They don't get any fertilizer outside of the compost that's in my soil blend. These are some fenugreek transplants growing in that same soil blend. Look, I mean, they are super happy, never fertilized aside from that approximately 30% compost in there. And these are some pepper plants in the same soil but bigger pots, more bell peppers. These I have to really congratulate because these are the result of seeds that I got from the fruit of a bell pepper on a plant that came out of our compost. And it was a yellow bell pepper, so it obviously came from the store because I've never grown yellow bell peppers. And these are just gorgeous. So I love the genetics we've got going on here. I hope I can keep these alive long enough to get fruits from them and keep some epigenetics going. And if you're wondering about this compost that I have and where you can get something equally amazing, I don't know. This is through our Lee County, our municipal solid waste services. They have a composting facility and they sell the compost at the incinerator. Check with your own local municipal waste services, see if they also make compost and sell it, or if you have a mushroom farm near you. Mushroom compost is great. I wish we had one near us, but any kind of farm that might sell their own compost. I would try to stay away from manure. I've had bad experiences using composted cow manure with my plants. I don't know if it's like an herbicide residue in the manure or what, but I've actually had plants die from the manure, and not from using too much, because it was less nitrogen than is in this compost when I used the manure. But the plants they were actively dying in the manure blend. So I stick to this. I do not stray from this soil mix, and I have great results. And one final unrelated piece of advice I have before I go, which is just completely random, because I am a health department employee, I should tell you guys, this is a vacuum breaker. Make sure you have vacuum breakers on all of your hose bibs in your yard. These vacuum breakers create a pressure seal that prevents any backflow from going from your garden hose into, for example, this is our well. And if you don't have a well, it will prevent backflow from your garden hose from going into your house water supply, because garden hoses can grow all kinds of gross things. All kinds of bacterial organisms can grow inside the hose. And if you don't have a vacuum breaker and you turn this off and the pressure flows backwards, those bacterial organisms can go into your drinking water supply in your house. So make sure all of your hose bibs have working vacuum breakers on them to keep you and your family safe. Anyway, that's your final random note. Thank you for watching. Please hit the thumbs up and, let me know if there's something else you want to see on the next video. I'll need your comments if you have something you want to see. Thanks. Bye.